Hey all, it's Rightplan here from Novagamer, and today we are back with the mighty quest for epic loot. This is Castle Defense 15. So I know this is coming over really quickly since the last Castle Defense video, and there's no Castle Attack video, but that's because I hate this castle. That is all. Alright, so hope you enjoyed the video. I'm just joking. It's normally, if you saw our previous videos, we got one, maybe two people. Like the odd time we'd get a second person who got 3 stars. This time we have 5 people who got 3 stars in less than, as you can see, the castle. This is the first comment on the castle, which was made by Master Shake 1 day ago. So in 1 day we've had 3-star runs. So as you can tell, I'm not too pleased with the defense of this castle, so I decided I'd get it out so we can change this. So some people wanted to see this defense, so we'll show you the defense. I'm going to try to make this video a little quicker because since the castle itself gave the ability for a lot of people to have 3 stars, I decided to add you all into the 3-star run replay at the end. So feel free to check at the end to look for yourself or to see who actually successfully did it. Or you can just see in the list here as we talk through it. But let's do the quick shoutouts here. There's not as many because once again this one was only out for a day. So first one was Master Shake. He says very close to his boss room. Now the reason why he said that's very close to his is I actually made 2 defenses. I made one and then it was just super easy because within the first, you can see he got 3 stars his second run, and then this person got 3 stars. Danny got 3 stars, and he did it in his first run, and they were both probably within about, I'd say, 10 to 20 minutes of each other. So once that happened and I saw that many 3 stars coming in, I tried to change it. Unfortunately, where I tried to change it so quickly, yeah, I didn't really have a lot of chances to perfect the creature layout. So 3 more people after that got 3 stars on the new design. So that's why when you watch the replays, you'll see there seems to be a change in the boss room for both of them. The beginning of them are the same, but the boss rooms are different. So he did get 3 stars. The first one was Master Shake. He got the 3 stars in the last video as well. He does very good on getting 3 stars. Although he did say that we can show other people's runs, so we're showing everybody's runs, so everybody's happy. We didn't have a win at all until the Crimson Link. He was our first kill with this room. We got a bit of a win, but then we took a huge loss here from Dadani. We got 2 big wins, but you think that they're huge, and you think, why did Neon die so easily? But it's because he went for basically going naked, and then he went for a legit 3-star. So then he had the wrong potions equipped, which I actually did watch the video, and he did have the wrong potions equipped. Still had the wrong potions equipped, and then finally he had the right potions equipped. He only does 450 damage per second, and as you guys saw, I'll show you, because there's something I want to show you guys as we show you with every new gear piece. I'll show you my damage again for those who didn't see it, but I'll also show you something new I learned about the rare epics. But good job, Neon. I'm not going to go through all your comments, but basically he was having a hard time trying to get the 3 stars naked, and then he had the wrong potions, and then finally he got it killed with 2 stars. He couldn't get the 3 stars, but he did get 2 stars. Those freaking creatures grouping up in the corner. That's one thing I was going for, was creatures that would go for the corners, and it did help a lot, but not as much as I thought it was going to. Then we got 2 more big losses, and then we got 1 win, but I got 0 crowns for it because he was too low in his crown rating. I'm not sure. I'm not going to go into there. But he has a low crown rating. That's why he didn't lose any stars from attacking mine. Then we took 2 more big losses. So we took a huge loss because we didn't get anything here. Check my post about yesterday's death replay. I wanted to read this because, Tranquil, I don't know what you were talking about, because I went looking at the day before and I looked on the videos and I couldn't find your post anywhere, so I'm not sure if maybe it didn't get posted properly, or maybe I'm just not looking in the right spot. So you can let us know about that in the comments below, and I'll go looking for your post. Then we get another win, but then we get a loss from the same person. And I'm enjoying the videos. Sorry to copy a few of your rooms. A lot of people have been talking about feeling bad about copying our rooms. Actually 2 people I've attacked in the last 24 hours had my exact castle. I really don't care. The only thing it's going to do is it's going to benefit me, because if I run your castle, I know exactly the tricks to get around my castle designs. but it also gives you guys more kills. So the whole point of these videos is to give you guys ideas, and if you think the whole castle is a great idea, well then by all means you can take the whole castle. That's the whole reason we're making these videos, so don't feel bad about them. Then we get a whole whack of losses here. Sorry for the read text. Was trying to get 3 stars, so he finally got his 3 stars because he did do 2 more attacks here. So he was the 3rd person to get 3 stars, and that was in the new boss room layout. Then we got 2 more wins with zero crowns because it was God and he was level 26. But he tried to kite it all the way to the end and then attack stuff and kite it around and try to kill it slowly. I almost killed you twice, Epic Eddie. Well, that was the plan. So, but you only got 1 star, so yeah, I made a really good time, and that was the problem, is that with the boss one, you really have to set a really good time, or else people are going to get 3 stars easily, as you saw. But there is something I need to talk to you guys about the 3-star things, but I'll say that at the end before we play the video so you guys can see. I totally understand. I barely play. This new patch sucks. I copied your last castle because it seemed to get some wins after my last one really did anything with Dur. Flamo is OP, so he agrees with us on that one, and I do refuse to buy him as well. The jelly stuff is crap. I do agree to a sense. I think they had a good idea behind it, but I think once it fell from the sky, if it stayed there permanently, that would make it a really good defense. But the problem is that most people just wait for it to fall, stand back, wait for it to disappear, and then they walk through. So the worst thing that they're going to have is not a perfect 3 stars because of time. That's about it. Or they do what I do and go on around the side, and it won't drop at all. Same setup everywhere. I wonder why I didn't kite. I don't know, and it is pretty much the same setup. I mean, boss rooms are really, really hard to design to be different than everybody else's because there's only so many traps you can put in a boss room, and there's only so much space. And it's not like there's corners. You can't really bring another castle wall up along the other side to get an extra bit of defense rating in there without putting down another defense power pad in. So, I mean, boss rooms are... I find most castles that have boss rooms don't get as many, and then actually most of the castles that I don't get 3 stars in are the ones that don't have anything in their boss rooms, and they have the rest of their castle set up for huge defense, which is how I made most of my previous videos, which is probably what I'm going to go back to in the next video. But I'm going to possibly try to keep a boss room, but change the entrance into the boss room. So I don't know, we'll see. But I'm definitely going to rip this castle apart. I hate every minute of it, and I'm going to rebuild a new one. Then we got a whole whack of losses. Again, this castle's got nothing but losses. Very nice. I played really bad, though. Well, you played good enough to get at least 1 star and beat the castle, so don't worry too shy. And you just noticed that we have the videos on YouTube, so feel free to check out our other ones. And for those of you who are waiting for it, we are still going to have a castle attack video. I'll probably make that for you guys tomorrow, so I'll have it out either tomorrow night or the next night. So we'll try to get that one out for you as soon as possible, because I know normally it's defense attack, but I wanted to get rid of this castle, so this one's defense. Too many spirit. We understand nothing at all. Not funny. I don't know what that means. So, sorry about that. I don't know what you're trying to say there. It's a tough castle. It is tough, but it's only tough for a boss castle, and you'll see why. I'll show you some tricks that I put into it that you can try to incorporate into your boss room, which did actually, if you watch the replays, you can see that some people did have difficulty. The game is glitched too much. Some monsters are not validated in the hamster wheel room. There was one monster that wasn't validated. I did end up validating him later, but people wouldn't have noticed that because the castle remained exactly the same, except for I just went back and validated again to fix that one creature. So that's probably what you would have noticed. I'll try once more for 3 stars. Last one was too easy. And can't wait to see the next castle. So we're going to build that next castle. So that's all of them. We got 2 more wins at the end there. And of course, because we had a level 20 attack, Mr. Sir Lazy, we had no crowns for that either. So I got quite a few wins, but they're all low crowns or no crowns at all. We did get a couple high crowns, but as you can see, there's a lot of them that were 0. So I mean, we're losing a crap ton of crowns and getting almost nothing back. Anyways, so first I'll show you guys what I wanted to talk to you about with the rare epic. So as we discussed back in, I think it was Castle think it was Castle Defense 13. Yes, I think so. Or maybe it was Castle Attack 3. But either way, we talked about the Bogart's fancy hat. I wanted to see if I wanted to replace it with my old one or if I should keep my old one. I ended up keeping the Bogart's fancy hat. But one thing I always wondered is these rare epics, do they act like other epics? Like these, this is a regular epic, this is a rare epic. So I thought that since the regular epics always change the buffs that they have on them, so you get some random enchantments and they always are random. So you could pick up 2 elven shoulder pads and one will be really good and one could be really crappy. But I wanted to know if the rare epics were a set amount of stats on them or if it changed. And anyways, we got a second Bogart's fancy hat, and as you can see, they remain exactly the same. So if you get a rare epic, that's pretty much what the stats are going to be. So for instance, my bow here, the Insister, you can see that if you ever get the Insister, that's what you have to look forward to, because that's what it's always going to have. This is what the Bogart's fancy hat is always going to have. So just you guys, if anybody's wondering about that, I also realized I have the Amulet of Awesome as well. I don't know if I mentioned that to you guys. So that one's going to be like that, and it'll always be like that. I think that's the only big ones I have. Yeah. On this one, I have some on my knight as well. So that answers that question. Now on to the castle. So as you can see here, it's a very short castle. When I make boss rooms, you want to not have, I mean, you can add in a whole bunch of, okay, here's the downfall. If you add a whole bunch of time killing area or a whole bunch of blank spaces leading up to your actual defense, what people are going to do is they're going to be more inclined to want to just go through this one hard part, then just quickly run through this, and then they'll just kite stuff the whole way back to the entrance until everything's dead and then run back through, because they don't care about the time, about getting the 3 stars. They just want to not die and to beat your castle. So that's the easiest way to do it. So that's what most people will try to do. So that's why when I'm making a boss room, I do my best not to have that. But in the next castle I'm going to design, I have to do that. So if you have to do it, then obviously you have to do it. But if you can avoid doing that, like in this design, then try to avoid that, because most people don't want to bring stuff back here and be forced to come out here, because then they're still in this little room. And as you can see, one person died out here because you're still getting the funnel effect. And if you walk too far back on this wall, everything in here will drag out. So the only way it works to kill stuff here is if you stand right here on the bridge. Here, I'll zoom in. Right here where my mouse is to, if you stand right there when the bridge is down, that will stop all the monsters from back here, and they'll just sort of pile up. But the moment that you start backing up to this wall, that's when they'll all start pouring out into this small little fighting area, and then you're forced to fight in here. So most people try to avoid doing that, unless they know for a fact they can do it easily. So that's why I try not to have any extra kiting area that they can have if my castle defense is going to be this short. Oops. So let's go through the castle defense here. So this one's going to be quick because it's basically a hamster room. I made some few changes to it. I just wanted to do that to try to, basically it's the biggest defense that you can do easily with one room to stop people from wanting to leave your boss room. So that's what I tried to put in here. So when people come up, they go through here, which I'll show you that piece as always. So if you want to pause and see this layout, you can, but I mean, this is a very standard layout. Most people have this. Let's go down to here. So that is the Cross Hall 06 is this piece here. We use that one quite a lot. And then from there, we're going into our favorite hamster wheel room, the Cross Chamber 02. So this is pretty much that's self-explanatory. You can see what I use, you can see where I put it. It's just basically rotating fire cannons and spike traps and one cannon. Then when you come into here, this is the entrance. Now I put this here because one person was standing here killing everything. So I put that there to stop them from wanting to stand here. When you're building your castle, you want to make sure that when you look around it, there's no blank spots. Somebody can stand and fight. So if you look carefully at my castle, at some point, every corner of this castle gets hit by fire. And that stops people from finding that out and standing there and just unloading on the monsters as they come out. So the hamster wheel room, as people have seen a ton of times before, I won't explain this layout. If you guys want to see this new layout that I started, this centerpiece, you can check that out. I believe that's in Castle Defense. I believe that's in Castle Defense 14. It's either in 14 or it's in 13. I'm pretty sure it's 14. So check out this. in that video we go through exactly why it's set up like that and what the benefits are to that. And then I took, basically I used to have a hamster wheel back here. I took that out and put another cannon in, and I sort of staggered them so that no matter where somebody is in these corners, this one will help hit them, and then these two here will sort of help these cannons if somebody's standing in the center here. I put in one, see there's the one that's still not validated. I validated you. I validated you. Anyways, so when you come in, I got one of these archers on each part of these sections. So when you first run in, you'll get 3 traps here, 3 traps here, and 3 traps here. So they'll be very hard to dodge. And then I've got a hunger bot with the stun, so they'll have to walk through the traps slower, and this hamster wheel might hit them more too. Then I got the Defendatron and our dampener, and then 2 smelly warriors with the heavy-handed. And as you can see, the hamster wheel room, pretty much I'd say about 90% of the kills. As you can see, we got 1 kill up here, no, 2 kills up in the actual boss room, 1 kill down here, but all the rest of the kills that you saw all came from here. So the hamster wheel room is still doing its thing. So that's the layout here. I'll stop here for a quick sec so you guys can pause it and do that layout. You only need to know this side because the other side is set up the exact same way. Once again, put the power traps where I have them. That makes it so it's the best layout for you, because as you can see, I always use them to the max, except for that one. And then this one here is at 3. Because basically I could put something else in there, but then I'd be losing a creature, and I wanted to set up 3 bear traps, 1 stunner. I mean, you could put a creature right here, but then it's going to take away from the creatures in your boss room, and this is supposed to be a boss room castle, so you want a lot of creatures for your boss room as well. But that's the layout for this one. And then the boss room. So as you can see, this is kind of your standard boss room. The one that I had before this was 3 rotating fire cannons that were set up all the way around the room. This made it so that no matter where somebody ran, these cannons were shooting through. That was really good. The only problem is that they leave blank gaps, as you can see here, as they spin. And most people were just standing in the blank gaps, and they would unload some big damaging spell and then keep moving, get to the next blank gap, and then fire again. They also take up a lot of defense points to do a whole room like that. So I realized I was losing a lot of potential creatures by doing that, so I instead only put 2 of them in, put a bunch of cannons in the back here, and then I put all these spike traps in the front. Now you can move these power pads around a little bit if you want to, but I would try my best to lay them the way they are, because by putting them over on the sides here and as close to the front as possible, you give a nice big open area here where you can put in tons of creatures. Then I get the 3 cannons here at the entrance so that once again people can't drag all the stuff down and hide in these corners and attack. So once you get up here, we'll talk about the creatures briefly. So some people were asking me why I use nothing but small creatures and none of the big guys. My experience fighting castles is that the small creatures actually work out better in the long run because they spread out more. You have to chase them down one by one, unless you're doing a volley or a vortex. But other than that, you got to kind of chase them down one by one, and they have the ability to hit you more often than not. So whereas you have a bigger creature, first of all, it's using a lot more defense points. So for one big creature, you could have 3 small creatures. And the big creature, for instance, I can one-shot Zeke with a headshot. So I do a headshot attack to him, and I can one-shot kill him. And then now your 10 points, I think it is. Is it 10 for Zeke? Let me see here. 12. 12 for Zeke. So I can take out 12 of your defense points with one shot. So, I mean, they do work if they get enough damage out that they can kill you really fast, but if they don't kill you really fast, then you can easily kite them and then wait for a clear shot and then kill them in one hit. One thing I did notice is the way I'm going to set up the next castle is I'm going to change the entranceway a bit, and I'm going to change the layout back here a bit, and you'll see why when I make the next castle, which will be right after this video. So I'm probably still going to try to stick with the boss room. I'm going to see how it plays out. If I don't like the way the boss room's turning out, then I'll just get rid of the boss room altogether and go back to my old way of killing, because it seems to work the best. But basically all I did was put 3 Defendatrons in. You want to put at least 3. 2 is not enough because they kill 1 and then you only get 1 going around. You want 3 because when you're using a lot of small creatures, you want the Defendatrons to keep them alive as long as possible. These vamps used to be terrible, but now they are actually quite annoying, and they do attack quite quickly. So they do add an extra bit of damage for only a small amount of defense points. So they're actually, I wouldn't load this area with them, but they are pretty good just to have something extra. I added some battering rams in there to keep people knocked down so that these guys can have a better chance of attacking you. And it also gives the smelly warriors a chance to run up to you and hit you with their heavy-handed. I got one and I think a second one. Oops. Yeah, right here. So I got 2 of the healers, but I don't have the Bone Puppeteer set to heal. I actually have them set to the Rager Engager. The reason why is because it allows your boss to attack faster as long as everything else as well. But the reason why I want the boss to attack faster is he puts the big goo piles on the ground, and he is really good if you don't have the fire guy, which is Flamo. If you don't have Flamo, because Flamo will put down the fire, obviously. If you don't have Flamo, he's the next best thing, because he will shoot piles of slime all back here, which will sort of not prevent, but make it a lot harder for somebody who's using this back corner here, which is almost everybody, to kill all your creatures. So he forces them to have to leave here once in a while and go back out into your defenses again. Flamo does the same thing, so if I was using any boss at all, I would only use him or Flamo. All the other bosses are, I mean, Dur is alright, but his knockdown can be easily avoided, and after he dies the first time, the second time, I don't know about most archers out there, but if I put down a bear trap on top of his dead body, and then as soon as he starts standing up, you do a volley and a headshot, and by the time he stands up, the bear trap and the headshot hit him, and the volley's all finished, and he's dead. So he doesn't even get off one thing. So really you only have to kill him once, and the second time he dies super easy. But yeah, so this is my setup. It worked really well. We'll show you the videos of the people who got 3 stars so you can actually see this castle in action. I'm going to run it one time real quick here for you guys. I might die. So basically you guys have seen this hamster room 100 billion times. So I'm just going to, because we got to save time to show you guys the 3-star runs at the end, so I'm going to skip right past the hamster wheel room when I come in. And I'm just going to go straight into here so you can see just how annoying a lot of small creatures as opposed to a lot of just a few big creatures can actually be. So one sec here. Oh, and before I start, for those of you who haven't seen the attack video or don't watch the attack videos and were asking me about how I do the run so fast, so that's what they were talking about. Most archers are around 400 to 700. I'm at 908. And then my critical chance is almost 50% with almost 180 critical damage, and that's because mainly of this helm. Sorry about that. That's mainly because of this helm here and this weapon. They both add huge amounts of damage, so critical damage, and then this one has huge critical hit chance. So both of them are a huge bonus to it. This here as well gives me 30 damage per second and 60 critical damage. So with all that combined, you can see why the damage goes way up. So let's do a quick run here. So once again, I'm going to skip the hamster wheel room, but you guys can see the hamster wheel room in action by watching the 3-star reruns. It's just like most hamster wheel rooms. I just added a few more things to it to make it a little more difficult. But you can see how well those play out. But I just want to show you the benefit of small monsters as opposed to big monsters in your boss room. Ah, I almost made it. That was almost a clear run right through. So I've also had some people ask me what is the benefit, what would they suggest for an archer? I suggest what I do with my archer, if you like the way that my play style is, and you're planning on doing your archer the same way. You basically want to go for a lot of crit chance and a lot of crit damage. After you get that, then start working on your damage per second, and if you're still happy with all that, then work on your defense. The only problem I'll warn you though is if you try to do your archer this way, you're going to have to get really good at dodging stuff. Because you can't just stand there constantly and just take tons of damage. You're going to have to constantly keep moving. You'll kill stuff really quick, so your battles, you'll have a much higher chance of getting 3 stars. You'll just have a much higher chance of dying if you don't dodge stuff. So as you can see, these guys are annoying. Even with an archer, you're trying to shoot them and they're constantly moving around. So the longer a monster stays alive, the more it's going to damage you, and the better chance you have of killing it. And I think that's all of them. Now, when you watch the replay videos, you can see how much quicker that was to kill them. But once again, that's just because of the damage that I'm doing. But you'll see in the replay, if you want to see this castle in full effect of somebody that doesn't run this castle to validate and know exactly what's coming up next, then just check out the 3-star runs at the end, which are really beneficial because you can see exactly where people took the most damage and you can use it towards your castle. That's why I wanted to get all the replays in there so that you guys can look through all of them, see what's the common amount of damage that everybody took. Obviously, the biggest damage dealing was in here. But you can see which creatures they had the most difficulty with in here, and you can kind of try to use some more of those kind of creatures in your castle. So that's what I'm going to be doing, so that's what I advise you guys do. But anyways, there you have it. Like I said, I'm just going to make this one a quick, short one here. Basically because next I'm going to rip this apart. I'm going to build a brand new one, so feel free to check out that one next. I'm going to try to avoid this kind of layout. I want to try not to have a hamster wheel room like this, the standard hamster wheel room everybody has. I'm trying not to have that in the next one, and I'm going to try to change up the boss room. And once again, if you come and do my castle and there's no boss room and you're like, what the hell? Well, that's because the boss room just sucked and I went back the old way. But anyways, so that brings me to the question of the video. So the question of the video, do you think mages are overpowered? This is a big, actually, debate that's been going on in the forums lately, and I just thought it'd be a good question to bring up on our comments. So let us know in the comments below what you think, and I'll just give you a hint. 4 out of the 5 people who got 3 stars were mages, so you can actually see 4 of the 5 people be mages, and actually how they ran the castle, and how much difficulty they had compared to the archer who got 3 stars. So there you have it. Next, we're going to have the 3-star ones. If for those of you who want to know who they were, just in case you don't see the names, they are the first one, and this is the order as what they killed the castle in, was Master Shake, then Dadan, then Tronquick, T-R-Q-I-C, Tronquick, Finji, and the Judge. So hope you guys like their replays, and you guys can take a look at, once again, which creatures in here did the most damage to them or they had most difficulty with, so that you can kind of add more of those into your castle or not have them at all. It's up to you. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment below about what you guys think about mages, and subscribe above if you want to see the next video when it comes out. But that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoy these replays, and as always, happy gaming.
It is time for you to ride the lightning! Who are you again? Who are you again? I will. Just need a moment. In a second. Good evening to you, dear sir. Your madam. My injuries have been
You're going to be far poorer 3 minutes from now. Time for a tactical retreat. This? Ah, only a scrap. The bigger they are. Swing a knife, mister. Attaboy. Gotta step out of the line of fire. Much better. Don't mind if I do. Ready when you are, big guy. Thanks for the boost. No.
Let me in here immediately! I will. Just need a moment. What do they put in this? Time is soon at an end. You're not so tough. pathetic excuse for a castle will soon be rubble! In a second. In a second. Just in time. At last, a worthy opponent. With the aid of this talent, I shall become unstoppable! Good evening to you, dear sir. Your Majesty. Let's see this embarrassment you call a defense. Rather unpleasant.